My name is Christopher. I have HSV-2 down here, and this is a disclaimer. This is not medical advice. If you want less information, talk to a doctor. Okay, I want to talk today about HSV-1 versus HSV-2 because I always get asked, like, what's the difference? And once again, I'm not a doctor. Some doctors don't know, like, up-to-date information, so take everything I say with a grain of salt, but I'm going to try my best to explain. It used to be said that, like, HSV-1 is oral herpes and HSV-2 is genital herpes, and it's not totally a lie, but there is some confusion as well. Now, both types of the herpes simplex virus, HSV-1, HSV-2, can affect either location. They just sort of have a more common prevalence in different locations. Now, when you have an oral infection of herpes, it's going to live like in the nerves at the base of your jaw here. And that could be HSV-1 or it rarely could be HSV-2. But most oftentimes, HSV-1 is associated with causing infections of the face and lips area. So you can get a cold sore. It can also like cause outbreaks when it like innervates to the nerves in your nose, and the nerves back here also innervate to your eye, which is why people can get like herpes in your eye, where it causes some like health complications in terms of vision. Then the genital infections are going to be like the virus will live in the sacral nerves, and it will like innervate to the front and the back of like the boxer shorts area, which is why you can have genital herpes but have like outbreaks in weird locations like on your butt or like inner thigh or places like that, because genital herpes infections are not just like on your genitals. They're possibly in other areas that could be affected by that set of nerves. Now, with that being said, it used to be seen that like there was no way to differentiate the type with blood testing and stuff, so they just assumed that type 1 is up here and type 2 is down there. There's a lot of cases now of type 1 being down here. And I think a lot of doctors aren't even up to date on that, because a lot of doctors will just type genital herpes as type 2, but it could be type 1. So that's why it's important to also consider the possibility that like if type 1 can be down here, it's most commonly transferred by a cold sore being present or a lack of a cold sore being present, but oral sex in general. And I think a lot of people don't even realize that their cold sore is herpes, and that they could possibly transmit their oral herpes to someone genitally by giving oral sex and not disclosing and being seen as normal and being seen as a non-sexual thing, but it's changing someone's life forever. So HSV-1 most commonly causes cold sores, but can cause genital infections. It's going to be probably less problematic if it's down here than if it was HSV-2, but it still happens. And then HSV-2 prefers to infect the genitals, and that's why it's most commonly spread like genital to genital, and that's sort of the super stigmatized one because it's guaranteed to be involved with sex in either location. But as far as I'm concerned, HSV-2 can go to someone orally, but I haven't really like encountered someone who knows that for sure, because people aren't really like swabbing their cold sores to do a type specific test. So that's sort of the difference. So another difference is like the way it's going to shed. So shedding is when the virus like is active on your skin without symptoms being present. HSV-1 orally will typically shed more than HSV-1 genitally, and HSV-2 genitally will typically shed more than HSV-2 orally. So they have like location preferences, and they also have like shedding preferences. But to say that HSV-1 is oral and HSV-2 is genital would be too rigid of a definition, and you need to think of it more as like an oral infection could be 1 or 2, a genital infection could be 1 or 2. And understand the concept that you can go from oral to genital and genital to oral depending on the person and the circumstances. That probably explains things far more complicatedly than I wanted to. Hopefully you left this video with more information than you did, but I actually have no idea. So love you, miss you, hope you're doing well. Extra help is in the description box. See you guys later.